Meet Dr. Ken Berry, a small town family physician who turned a wake up call into a global mission. He started out like many doctors, board certified, treating sore throats, treating diabetes in rural Tennessee, long hours, heavy caseloads, standard playbook. But then the numbers didn't add up. Patients weren't getting better, and his own health headed the wrong way. He described himself as an obese doctor, telling patients they needed to lose weight. So he did the unthinkable. He questioned the script, research, personal experiments, tough conversations about food, inflammation, and what he calls the proper human diet: low carb, real food, fewer processed oils and sugars. Results soon showed up, first in his own labs, then in his patients. He wrote a best-selling book, Lies My Doctor Told Me, calling out medical myths that cling to the exam room. Then he took it to YouTube, where his straight talk and no jargon breakdowns caught fire. Millions of views and a massive community. Weekly videos on reversing metabolic disease, reading labs like a pro. Collaborations with dietitians, researchers, and his wife Naisha in the kitchen, turning Eat Better into doable meals. You'll hear phrases like, don't be dogmatic, be data-driven in real food. First, some milestones. Clinic doc to author, author to educator, educator to movement maker. The mission: empower you to question, learn, and take back your health, one habit, one lab, one plate at a time. If you're curious, skeptical, or just tired of feeling stuck, that's exactly who he is talking to, because in Dr. Berry's world, the goal isn't a trend, it's metabolic freedom. It starts with knowing better so you can do better. The following video clip is the first 4 minutes of a 28-minute video by Dr. Ken Berry. The topic is the proper human diet, and Dr. Berry goes into the 11 factors of that diet in great detail. The factors include such things as nutrient density, toxins, satiety, fasting, and carbohydrate levels. He also talks about things to avoid, such as highly processed foods and vegetable oils. Overall, it is a history lesson on human evolution and the nutrients that helped us grow as a species. The link to the entire video is in the description.
Is there a proper human diet, or can human beings just eat whatever they want and still expect good health? I think this is a very good question, and a question we should all ask ourselves and ask our healthcare providers. It's my contention that there is a proper human diet that is going to lead to optimal health for humans, optimal health for you. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the 11 concepts of the proper human diet. I'm Dr. Ken Berry, a family physician with 20 years of clinical practice, and this video is going to help you understand your proper human diet. The first concept I want to discuss is nutrient density. Now, the very act of eating should be all about nutrient intake. There are certain amino acids, there are certain fatty acids, there are certain vitamins and minerals that we cannot make, that we must ingest, or we will get sick, suffer, and ultimately die an early death. So eating should be all about harvesting these nutrients. And in order to do that as efficiently as possible, and also without ingesting an unnecessary amount of carbohydrates, you should eat the most nutrient-dense food you can find. Now, if you read lots of articles out there in the mainstream media, you'll think that kale is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, or some berry from a Caribbean island, or spinach. You'll think these are the most nutrient-dense, and that's actually not true at all. You can put the nutrient listings side by side between kale and any form of meat, and the meat is going to win every time. The most nutrient-dense foods on this planet are organ meats, like liver. And so if you compare the nutrients contained in chicken liver to the nutrients contained in kale or spinach or any other quote-unquote superfood, you'll see that there is no more nutrient-dense food than liver. So a proper human diet should contain foods that are very nutrient-dense. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat spinach and kale. I'm just saying don't be deluded into thinking they are the most nutrient-dense. There is an absolute spectrum of nutrient density in the food you eat. So a jelly donut would be very high in carbohydrates and sugar and completely devoid of any meaningful nutrition, aka nutrients. On the other end of that spectrum would be liver of some kind or some other organ meat that is completely rich in the amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals that your body needs for optimal function. The second concept I want you to understand is the carbohydrate knob. There is no such thing as an essential carbohydrate. If you never ate another carbohydrate for the rest of your life, not only would you not die, but you would actually flourish and be very healthy and vigorous, because there is no essential carbohydrate. There is no essential sugar. You don't need those at all. So your intake of carbohydrates is optional. And so I want you to think of your carbohydrate intake as the volume knob on your car radio. If you want to listen to the music louder, you turn up the volume. If you want to listen to it not as loud, you turn down the volume. This same concept applies to your carbohydrate intake. Now, when I talk about carbohydrates, I'm talking about total carbohydrates, not net carbohydrates. And so some of us do wonderful on 100 total grams of carbohydrate a day. We're still able to get all the nutrient-dense foods in. We don't gain fat. We don't get inflamed. We seem to do very well on that. Others of us have to turn down this knob to 50 total grams, some even more to 20 total grams. Some people like me have to turn down their carbohydrate intake knob as close to zero as they can get it before they discover their optimal health, before they discover their proper human diet. Please help me reach even more people and teach them about the proper human diet.